Hello, it's Stragabella. I wanted to make this video today because there's an issue, topic type of thing that I have kind of been struggling with since I got back together with my husband and moved to south of Boston, because now, once again, I'm attending a traditional type church environment, like a traditional Christian. It's an independent church, but it still holds the traditional Christian beliefs. And when I was on my own in my spiritual practice, solely doing witchcraft, I had made some videos explaining that, to me, I don't think any of what I believe goes against what's in the Bible. I think that it all kind of goes together. If you guys haven't been following me long term, for my newer subscribers, I'll explain it a little bit. Like, the way that I look at it is kind of like how our government works. The president is the guy at the top who, he declares something, he makes a decision, and he has like the power to make it instantaneously become law. He has authority over the whole country, type of thing. It doesn't mean that things can't be done by the lower level people, the mayors and the congressmen and stuff like that, but with them, it may take a little longer, or they don't have quite as much authority or power. They have to kind of run it by some kind of superior. Well, that's kind of the way that I look at things spiritually. Like, the Creator is at the tippity top of the pyramid, and the other gods and goddesses, angels, deities, fairies, and all that kind of stuff is at the lower end of the spectrum. I also do believe that there are evil forces as well, like demons would be, they answer maybe to like a Satan type of thing rather than to God, or whatever. People don't all use the same names for the same things. Some people would call it the Creator or God or the Spirit, the higher universe spirit or whatever. People have different names for things, but I look at it kind of like, there's a highest and then there's lower entities. And in what we do, people who practice witchcraft call it spellcraft and ritual. But when you look at people who are Jewish or Christian or even Muslim, they call it prayer. But it basically is the same thing. You're giving honor and worship to deity. Now, I don't think the way that I practice goes against anything, because the Bible says not to put other gods before God. So it would be like he's at the top. So you're giving him the most, like, your worship. It doesn't mean you can't believe that the other ones exist or give them the respect that they deserve. So basically that's kind of what I believe in a nutshell. So the other day my husband had a really bad headache, and having the intuitive abilities that I do have, and I've learned over the years to trust them, because as you grow and you learn and you develop spiritually, you learn to recognize when your gut is right, because you have that feeling that always is right. And my intuition was telling me that his headache was, in my tradition, it's called malakia. And I felt like he had this headache from somebody having either, bad feelings, like jealousy, envy, spite, anything like that. And a person who, like, is looking at you with that type of envy or negative emotion, it can give you a really severe headache. And he had been complaining for more than 24 hours of this headache, like how he took Tylenol, he had coffee, he did all these things, and he couldn't get rid of his headache. And I'm sitting here, like, knowing that I can get rid of his headache in 5 minutes, and struggling with that until finally I said, I just came out and I told him that I thought that's what was going on. And he really didn't say much, and he didn't ask me to take it away. And so I started to go about like I was going to take away his headache, and he saw me getting out the stuff and asked what I was doing, and I said, I'm going to get your headache away. And he said, I don't want you to do it, that it's witchcraft. And so I'm like thinking about this ever since that happened, and I'm thinking, and then I did say what I'm going to say now to my husband. I said, people really need to be careful the way they define things as being evil, as they define it as being wrong. Because people use the word witchcraft to mean that just something is wrong or evil, you're doing something against God. But I don't believe that that's so at all. I think it's all in the person's heart and in the intent. And it also, like when I am removing the headache, I'm not praying to any other deity than the Creator. And I'm asking him to remove the headache using a particular ritual and ingredients. Now, I said to my husband that many, many things that everybody does could be called witchcraft. Anything that you do to manipulate the results in your favor or in somebody's favor, you're doing something for the purpose of a particular outcome. That is a type of ritual, a type of witchcraft. Like, for example, when we put on makeup and we doll ourselves up, we are causing people to look at us in the most favorable, most positive light, especially in the circumstance, like say you were going to go on a first date and somebody you really like and you want to impress them. You would never go without taking a shower and doing your hair and doing your makeup. And you would do that every time that you're going on a date and doing this first impression type of thing. That's a ritual. That's a type of ritual. It's a process that people go through, and most people do it to prepare because they want to impress somebody, because they want a desired result. They want the person to like them. They want the person to want to be with them and all of that. Same thing with like job interviews and stuff like that. Anything you are doing because you just don't ordinarily just want to do it because you want to do it, and you're doing it for a desired outcome or for somebody else's benefit, that is a type of ritual, a type of sort of paganistic type of practice. And even stuff like a birthday party, you don't think about it, but the blowing out of the candle, the making of the wish, all of that is witchcraft. So, people need to be careful when they point the finger and say, oh, you can't do that because it's witchcraft, because a lot of the stuff that we do, everybody does pretty much, is witchcraft. The candles on a birthday, the birthday party itself is a ritual honoring the person. Just like you would honor a deity on a particular day and do particular rituals to honor them. Barbecue on 4th of July. That's a ritual we all tend to engage in to celebrate, to honor the country. Even though the country is not a person or a deity or whatever, it's the same idea. We have President's Day, a lot of holidays, any kinds of things. And particular families have particular traditions that they pass on to their children. Stuff that maybe not all families do, but within that family, that's kind of like when you look at the fact that I come from Italian tradition, strega. We pass that on within our family. Other people have similar practices who are from the same tradition, but not everybody in this particular area or community who are of some kind of witchcraft practice do the same thing. So, I don't know. I just thought I would throw that out there because, just because you practice certain things, I think you really don't need to just stop yourself from doing everything. I think you really need to look at the intent in your heart and know in your own heart if what you're doing is with good intentions and if it's right or not. So I don't think taking away my husband's headache was something wrong to do at all. And it just made me really start thinking deep down about all the things in our everyday life that we do that are rituals. Getting ready for work, preparing dinner every day at the same time, doing the same thing, watching the same TV shows. All those things are kind of like rituals and traditions and so forth. And families, your kids get influenced by that, and in a way, sometimes they pass that on to their own children. So sometimes we carry on certain rituals and traditions without consciously even being aware that we're doing it. It's just kind of like an automatic thing. Whereas, you practice the craft for 20 years, you don't have to really think about the fact that you're going to take a ritual bath or shower before the full moon. You just automatically get into the motion of doing it, and it becomes like second nature. So that's what I had to say for the day. I went to my doctor's appointment today, and it was a big clusterfuck. I have just so many terrible things going on because of my health insurance. I have like the state insurance, and they're doing cutbacks, and they don't want to cover my medication, and I'm on a lot of different medications now because I have a heart problem and all kinds of things going on. And they said one thing, and I went to the doctor and had them adjust everything just so to try to get it covered by insurance, and I got there and it ended up that it still wasn't covered, and it came to like $200 and something, and yeah, so I don't know what's gonna happen, and they still can't figure out why I'm having double vision and tinglies in my face and my head and all these kinds of things. So I don't know what's going on with me. Hopefully it'll be figured out soon. But it's officially summer for my kids. Tomorrow is their little play. They're in a play for the end of the year fiasco. And once that's done, I don't have to drive an hour until the fall. Yay! So hope you guys are having a good week. Leave me a comment if you have any thoughts on the stuff I talked about, and blessed be.